I believe he's worth in the neighborhood of 140 million, give or take millions. I'm not exactly sure. But they interviewed him and they said, so what's the hardest part about that level of success? And he said, well, what's going on, y'all? I'm Jericho. This is Zap. We are the now 6-time award-winning, international award-winning, might I add, pop hip-hop duo Bandit Future. We make clean, fun music that everyone can listen to with a sound that's uniquely California. And you are right here and right now tuned into the Life's a Circus podcast, where we talk about stuff that's interesting, funny, and just straight up ridiculous. So do us a big favor. Before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with at least 2 people that want to make some more money, man.
Hey.
And stay tuned to the end, because I have a revolutionary idea. I got a revolutionary idea for how you can have more money. It's revolutionary.
Revolutionary?
Did I say that? I have an idea for how you can have more money. But I actually
wait. Don't click away.
I was reading this article. First, it was about this our buddy Elon Musk, who's right now his net worth is around 250 million, something like that. Which is actually down from 2 years ago. It got to like 314 billion. My bad, billion.
Yeah, I was like million.
Don't get that confused. No. He won't like that. But no, billion with a B. So about 250 billion, and that's a lot of money. And now he's like in the running for like the richest man of all time. Apparently, they're like somebody in the like 100s was richer than him. Who knows? But I was reading this article, and it was trying to find the apex, or the point where happiness and income meet. Meaning, how much money can you make to make you the most happy? Because at some point, it doesn't change. You make more money, you don't get any happier. So where's that happy medium? And that is a very... it could be sort of an individual thing, depending on maybe the country you live in or your point of view on money in general. But they did a study of it. Yeah, Yahoo Finance did a study of it last year. And so they, I guess, do the study every 5 or 6 years. And of course, the number goes up every time. But they have what they conclude for the people like the Western world, how much money you should make per year in order to maximize your happiness to income ratio, basically. So for you, sir, what would you say would be the ideal amount of money that you make annually that you think would give you the most bang for your buck, basically?
Personally?
Yeah.
Oh man, we're getting personal, man.
Yeah, getting personal.
I have read that article before, but it was one from like years and years ago, where it was like, at some point in time, it was like 70,000 something.
Right. I mentioned that. Not no moto.
Yeah, I'm sure it's inflation. Right now,
yeah, just for you, what do you think would be good for you?
Just to hit that happiness level.
Yeah, I mean, if you made more than that, it wouldn't make you any happier.
Can I disagree with the premise?
You can.
I'm going to say per year. How much does a rookie in the NBA make? I feel like that's it.
Rookie contracts, I'm not sure. I do know that they tend to spend them, no matter how much it is, they spend them pretty good, but I'm not sure what that number is.
Let's say 2 millis.
2 mil a year?
Yeah, rookie contract.
Fair enough. Okay. Rookie. I think if you're a lottery pick, you get more, but I'm not sure about that. But okay, cool. So 2 mil a year for Zap. I would go, I'd say 1 for me. 1 million a year would be good. As far as what I think could really give me like access to the world that I want to be in, and not too much. I mean, taxes are going to bite you. No, they get 2 million because they're taking like half of it, aren't they? So
yeah.
2. Yeah, sure. It's a good number. But the most recent study concluded that in North America, about 500,000 is that number. And most people make much less than that, right?
Yeah.
So it's not even a number that people can dream about. But the idea is trying to find, yeah, how much can you spend to bring you the most happiness? And I go to people that I've heard speak that are making a lot of money, and what they say their biggest problem is. So one guy that I pinpoint is Dan Bilzerian, the poker guy who got super big on Instagram for showing his lifestyle, and it's just beautiful women and guns and drinking and adventures and traveling, right? So he made this big empire off of that. And I believe he's worth in the neighborhood of 140 million, give or take millions. I'm not exactly sure. But they interviewed him and they said, so what's the hardest part about that level of success? And he said, well, it's just that happiness doesn't come anymore from buying things. Like you could give him $1 million Ferrari and he's not happy. He gets private, like he has a personal chef that makes him like 5-star meals for every breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. And he says it does nothing for him. He says at the end of the day, he likes hanging out with his friends and going to the beach and like the stuff that's for free, right? But he said that it started pretty early and it really was a drag for him to find out that it just didn't keep working. Like he could get more money and buy more stuff and it didn't bring him happiness. I've heard John Mayer say the same thing. I think a lot of rich people that go through these phases of I'll buy a lot of stuff, make me feel good. And then once that wears off, it's like, oh my God, now what? So where is that number? I think it also comes from the idea that because you might have been thinking like, I want to make as much money as possible, like, you know, more money, you know, the better. But at some point as humans, I think we want somewhere to go. So if you're making a decent amount of money and there's still the possibility of making more money, but you're not doing bad, so you're not struggling and money's not a stressor for you, I think it's a nice level to be at. When you're at the level so much, what I feel like a lot of those people deal with, where all they get is people that want to know them for their money and getting people to ask them for their money and judging them for not being more charitable. That's the thing that happens a lot. Like, you're a millionaire. Why aren't you tipping $1 million each, you know, time you go to Applebee's? I'm tipping the value of the service, you know, but people don't seem to get that because they haven't been in a rich person's shoes. So it's my other question would be, I guess, how can you maximize the amount of money you have? So maximize your happiness to income ratio at any income level. Because in my experience, honestly, the people that are happier than me tend to be on the poorer side. And I don't know if that's just because they accept the fact that they're poor and they're never going to be rich, but they definitely find a way. Whereas I know a man that's worth $500 million. He's a cool guy. But I also know that he has a personal bodyguard that follows him around everywhere, and he's kind of terrified for his life all the time. So it's like finding that balance is really hard. So how do you think we can best, it's kind of getting a little philosophical maybe, but how do you think you can best maximize your happiness regardless of your income level?
Well, I think one important thing to note is that, and I've seen this myself, and I've heard people talk about it a lot, is that there's actually a lot of millionaires in the world. It's not selective. I mean, comparatively, it's you know, like what they say, 1% or something like that in America. But 1% of like millions of people, still a lot of people. So there's a lot of millionaires, but I think there's a difference between the people who are millionaires and the people we see on TV who are millionaires, because I think that drastically affects like what we envision that life to be, and that the TV millionaires are not by far not the majority.
That's very true.
So it's like unless you're in that life, you only have that perception, and so you think millionaire means like, you know, women all around and cars and trips to Hawaii, or I mean remote islands and private jets and all this kind of stuff, and just like spending. But the reality is like most millionaires are like the most frugal people one, they're super frugal, which is how they actually became millionaires. And two, like they're super low key. They don't dress fancy. They don't shop fancy. Like all that stuff is like tucked away and you don't even know. So then there's like there's no heat on them or anything like that. Like I remember the first time I met millionaires, they came to our like music class and we're talking about music publishing. And bro, these dudes look so homeless. I was like, what are you wearing? Like you're giving a talk in front of people and like you tell them about how you're a millionaire and they got on like t-shirt and jeans and like some like dirty sneakers and their hair is just like whatever. And like I think that's when you have that if you're a millionaire with that mentality or just a high net worth person with that mentality, like I think that's the happiness level because like I feel like your life is unchanged. Like you're not like your life is unchanged. Your life is changed, but you are not.
Yeah, gotcha.
So like you're the same person that you were at $15,000 that you're at $15 million. And if that stays the same, then I think you found how to be happy at any level. And the money part is just, a condition that you're in, not the source of your happiness or sadness.
Interesting. I think I remember reading on Dave Ramsey, or I saw a Dave Ramsey podcast, and of the top 10 professions that'll most likely make you a millionaire, number 1 or 2 is being a teacher.
Yeah.
Because they're not out spending all their money. I think they like what they do because it's a hard job. And so they're making a decent amount and they're not spending much. And then they just keep it and then become millionaires. And then the profession that's not on that list is doctors. Doctors are apparently very bad financially in general. They have a lot of expenses because they're doctors, so they can afford all this stuff, but they're, making $1 million and spending $1 million, so it's kind of a tricky thing. So that brings me to my industry secret, if you will, how you can have more money.
Oh, yeah.
I want to let y'all know how you can have more money in this day and age, in 2023, the year of our Lord. If you want to have more money.
Well, that's all the time we have for
I was going to say, no, if you want to have more money, spend less than you make. All right. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Good night. Awesome. There's nothing new. There's no new information about money. There's no new information about how to make money and how to keep money. Just spend less than you make and you'll have more money. That's literally how it works.
That reminded me of I wish I could remember the name of this comedian. I could probably look it up. But it was like, that's why I love comedians, because they can say funny stuff, but then they can be like so profound at the same time. And this guy got up and he was like, I'm gonna teach you guys the secret to being rich. And everybody was just like on the edge of their seats. I'm like, yeah, this is foolproof. And he was like, this is what I do. I look at broke people and then I don't do what they do. He was like, the other day I saw a broke dude and I was like, I'm not going to do that. which is like true.
But it makes sense because broke people, and broke in the sense of literally being broke, like they don't have to look broke because a lot of broke people don't look broke. And you're like,
like just what you said, broke people spend more than they make. It's like, it's that simple. You're broke because in some place you spent more than you made. What you had going out was more than you had coming in.
Exactly.
And then if you just stop doing that, like you can make some money.
That has been the Band of Future Financial Advisory section. Thank you for tuning in. That'll be $50 to all y'all listening. Y'all can give it to your Patreon.
Yeah.
Or just pass it to the usher on the left. Yeah. So
you like the cast that folds,
episode.
not the cast that jingles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Preach, preacher. Preach, preacher. Okay. So this has been another episode of the Life's a Circus podcast. Make sure to comment. Let us know what you think. How much money would be enough for you to be equally happy and stress-free? Because money can relieve stress and it can bring you some happiness, or at least buy you some things that'll make you happy for a little bit. But we're thinking about the long-term thing here. So let us know what you think, and make sure to stay employed.
Yeah.
Because it helps you to make more money. Because it would suck if they took your job. It would really suck if they took your job.
If they
like, it'd be really unfortunate if they just came in and just said, "Hey, we're going to take it."
Yeah.
I'm saying it'd be a very bad thing. It'd be a very unfortunate event if you were to just be like, they're going to come in and take your job. But then you could complain about it.
Yeah.
You could say something like, "I know that."
It's a good job. It's a good job. I couldn't hold it anymore.
Or that.
They took our jobs.